Turkish authorities say Daesh has fired 3 rockets from Syria across the border into southeastern Turkey. One hit a primary school in the city of Kilis, around 5 kilometers from the border. 1 woman has been killed and a student wounded. The Turkish military says it retaliated and destroyed the outpost where the rockets were fired from. While just a short distance away, Daesh is moving its foreign fighters away from northern towns where the terror group is losing ground. Further south, they kidnapped and murdered several hundred civilians from Deir Ezzor. Well, for more on this, here in the studio with me is Sinan Hatahet. He's the Deputy Executive Director at the Omran Centre for Strategic Studies. Thank you very much for your time. Good to see you. Can I just start by asking you what's happening in Deir Ezzor and what you think is likely to happen to those people that we've just heard about that have been kidnapped?
Well, the report are still to be confirmed. Deir Ezzor has been going through a media blockage for the last year and so, and very few reports have been allowed to come out of the city. So there is still a doubt about the number of civilians that has been held captive by ISIS. But if the recent history of ISIS teach us anything, that will most probably will be executed, unfortunately. There
seems to have been an offensive by Daesh in Deir Ezzor. If we look at what's happened there, and in Aleppo too, where they're moving foreign fighters back to Raqqa, does this signify a change in strategy from Daesh? Is this a response to losing territory elsewhere?
Well, we can definitely see it this way. It's an exchange between the regime and ISIS. It has been witnessed before in Syria, where the ISIS retreat from an area in exchange of the regime retreating. Deir Ezzor is very important for ISIS since it's the last stronghold of the regime east to the Euphrates. And in order to consolidate their forces, especially after losing Al-Ramadi and also losing territory in the northern parts of Aleppo, the city, that could be, one of the strategy is to kick the regime out of the Deir Ezzor, the last, headquarters east of the Euphrates, in exchange of retreating from Bab, the city, very important city in the north of Aleppo.
And what do you make of Daesh hitting Kilis today in southeastern Turkey? Is that a deliberate move? And if so, why?
It's definitely a deliberate move, but it's not part of the strategy or what's going on between Deir Ezzor and Bab. This is part of another story. The FSA brigades in the part of Aleppo has been advancing against ISIS in the last couple of weeks with the support of the Turkish military, logistically at least. And this is part of their vengeance, let's say, or at least reaction to this latest defeats against the rebels, the Syrian rebels in the north, and just a retaliation actually to what's happening.
Okay, Sinan Hatahet, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for joining us.